Hey, welcome folks, Pat Mitchell here, and today in this video, obviously it's a little different than what I normally do, but today I want to share something that I'm really passionate about, something that I collect. I collect watches. I've always really been into horology, and this is a video that's been a long time coming. I decided to share this with you. Getting all the watches in one place at one time it's not easy. I got to go to the bank, got to go pick them up. So it's decided to finally pull the trigger and do it. And I hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to tell you about the piece. A lot of these are milestone pieces. A lot of these pieces have meaning to me. Some don't. Some I just bought because I like them simply. But I think I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get into it. So the absolute very first piece that I got was actually bought by Chrissy, and this was an anniversary present, and it is the Rolex American Seiko, which is, you know, a very traditional stockbroker type of watch. This one is vintage. It is a 1986 Rolex Datejust, and it is in yellow gold and stainless steel. It is a two-tone with a champagne dial. I love this piece. It's a 36 mil. A lot of people have problems wearing 36 millimeters, and that just means the size of the dial. And it can wear a little small, but my wrist can fit a small watch and it can fit a big watch. It kind of works both ways. It's something that I'm very fortunate about, because then I can wear a bunch of different pieces. But this is it. This is what starts the disease, so to speak. It's a beautiful piece. It's a very traditional piece, and again, I absolutely love it. So then from there, I think I should talk about a watch company that's really near and dear to me. I've become friends with a boutique manager in Beverly Hills, and his name is Haig, and I absolutely love this guy, as well as Joseph. And they've always treated me very well. We've went out to dinners together every time we go into town. It's Iwc, International Watch Company, and they do a lot of pilot watches, and I love them. They're big, but they're clean. They're very legible, and the very first piece that I picked up off of them was this. Well, multiples, but this is the one I really wanted. This is actually a limited edition. This is a Big Pilot Heritage. It's made out of bronze, and it patinas really nice. But you can read it from here, and I'm pretty far away, right? And I'm sure you guys can tell the time on that. So it's a very nice piece. I love the way that this starts to patina, and over time it's just going to patina more and more and more. Iwc is a Swiss brand as well. Most of these are Swiss. I do have a couple Germans in there and one Japanese, but Swiss watches are the pinnacle, the peak, I guess, so to speak. They are and they aren't. But with this piece, this actually isn't made in Geneva. Iwc has offices in Schaffhausen, which is, not in Geneva. It's still in Switzerland. And Chrissy and I have been invited to their factory via Haig at Iwc. So next summer we are going to go to their factory, watch them actually build these pieces, build these watches, take a tour of their museum, and it should be really interesting. But again, the Big Pilot 46 mil Heritage, beautiful piece. I love it. Absolutely love this. It's one of my daily drivers. Another piece I have of Iwc this is my Sea-Doo watch. This is an Iwc Aqua Timer. And this actually has a function here of a chronograph. And what a chronograph is here, you can press these buttons, start, stop. It's like a timer, right? You can, basically it's a 60-minute timer. It just goes around. But this actually has a secondary function. It's not just a chronograph. This is what is called a flyback chronograph. And instead of hitting start, stop, reset, you can start it and then reset it. Hopefully you guys can see that. If not, I'll show you on the close-up. You'll be able to see. But you can start and stop it. You can time your dives by turning the bezel here. And this actually also has a neat little function. Off to the side, there's a little valve that you can rinse the seawater out of. You just run it underwater and it cleans up this bezel quite nicely, because it can get pretty gummed up. So really nice piece. And one of the cool features about this is the lume, the glow in the dark. It has multiple colors. It's extremely legible at night. I love it. I love it. One of my prized IWC. This is actually a rare piece. This is an IWC. They only, an IWC ceramic perpetual calendar. And this, they only make 100 pieces per year until they discontinue it, which will probably be fairly soon. It's already increased in value quite a bit. This will tell you the moon phase, the day, the month, the year, the date. And what's cool about perpetual calendars here is this is actually good. And it's wound. Once it's wound, it is good for the next 120 years. As long as it remains wound and you keep it on a watch winder, I will not have to reset the time. It will do leap years. It'll do 30-day months, 31-day months, 28-day months, everything. It's beautiful. It's something that's just really cool. And on the back of this, what I love about, I can show you guys here, is the open display back. You can see the movement in there. So it is something that's really cool. I love looking at these things. And again, this was not easy to get. This is not an easy piece to acquire. But Haig, again, was able to make that happen for me. And I'm extremely appreciative of him for, you know, going that extra mile for me and, you know, treating us like family. He's an amazing guy. I love the guy. I should say Haig and Joseph. Joseph is definitely a part of it too. But yeah, this is unbelievable piece. I actually own one more IWC perpetual calendar, and it is a solid rose gold. And I was actually putting it on and I dropped it. I dropped it on my tile. There was no physical damage to it, like externally, but the date jumped all the way to 2222, basically the end of the calendar cycle. And it also comes with a vial where you need to take it to a watchmaker, and then it'll be good for 500 years. But anyways, I had dropped it. It's in for service. It's a beautiful piece. That one's a limited edition of 250 pieces. I love it. I believe I have piece number 112. I would have to take a look, but very special piece as well, and very fortunate that I was able to get that. I absolutely love that one. It's got a really nice meaty look to it. This one is made out of tan ceramic, and ceramic is actually quite expensive. It's a difficult process to do because for every 100, only 10 make it through. Now those numbers could be wrong, but I believe it's pretty close to that. Ceramic can show a bunch of flaws when they're making it. It won't scratch. In fact, if it ever shows a scratch, you can actually take an eraser to it and it keeps it nice and clean, but it will crack. So if you smash it, you drop it, you're probably going to be screwed, and it's going to be pretty expensive to replace. But I absolutely love this. Absolutely love this one. It's one of my favorites. So then I think from there, before we start getting into the real crazy pieces, because I do have some pretty crazy pieces, let's actually talk about a German watchmaker, Lang & Son. This is special, and I'll show you on the close-up here, but this is a travel time, and you press this button up top and the internal bezel rotates, and it shows all the different time zones over the world. It's absolutely a fantastic piece. German watchmaker, but the finishing on this, you can take a jeweler's loop to it, and let me tell you guys, it is special. It really is. This is an all rose gold case with a silver dial, and it shows two clocks on it, so your main time zone and then a secondary time zone, day-night feature, as well as power reserve indicator and the big date. I'd actually like to give you just a quick close-up here of the open case back. This is a work of art. It's German silver. I know I wasn't going to do this, but hopefully you guys can see it. Absolutely beautiful. I won't be coming up close. I'll try and do the close-ups later for you guys, but it's a fantastic piece, and I believe that Élan Zone will really catch on here. I think a lot of people are getting sick and tired of all these hype pieces, all these hype brands, hype pieces. Not that those aren't beautiful watches, they absolutely are, but they're getting tired of paying these ridiculous prices. I don't go after hype pieces. I go after pieces that, you know, catch my eye, that draw me to it. Most of these are automatic winding, meaning that the momentum of your wrist movement throughout the day will keep it wound. This one's actually a manual, so you do have to wind it. It's got a 36-hour power reserve, so you got to make sure to wind it. You don't want to overwind these. You want to try and keep them halfway, especially on the manual winds. You definitely don't want to ever overwind these ones, but very, it's a beautiful piece, and it fits on my wrist really, really nice. It's dressier, but the more and more you get into watches and watch collecting, I actually appreciate the leather straps a lot more. I just find them way more comfortable, and it's about the piece. It's not about the material so much, so to speak, like the precious metal or this or that. But I love this. I could probably talk about this one all bloody day, but I won't. I'll try not to bore you with the details. So now I think I should talk about my relationship with Rolex. I've got a lot of Rolexes. I actually have a really good relationship with an authorized dealer in Edmonton back in Canada. And I've got a lot of my pieces through them. And a lot of people really, they slam these authorized dealers. But it's all about, you know, how you deal with them. Shout out to Cindy in Edmonton at Jim Oro in West Edmonton Mall. Fantastic authorized dealer. I think the world of her. She's fantastic. But a lot of people go in and they just go, I want a Daytona, or I want, you know, some like crazy hype piece. Well, they don't know you. They don't know if you're just going to turn around and flip these pieces, right? They don't know you. They don't know if you're going to actually respect the piece, or if you're just going to go beat it up and don't give a fuck about it. They want to make sure that these pieces, these are luxury items. These are pieces that are handcrafted. They're all built by hand. They want to make sure that it goes to the right person. So you go in and you start developing a relationship with these people, and you let them know, like, hey, I'm a serious collector, or this is a piece I've really had my eye on. And they won't say no to you if you treat them right and you know how to talk to them. A lot of these people just go in like a bull in a china shop, and they're crazy, right? I've seen how people talk to authorized dealers, and it's like, no wonder you don't get awarded any pieces. I've been awarded multiple pieces by Rolex. We'll start with the Datejusts. I've got multiple Datejust 36s. This is a two-tone rose gold diamond dial. This one is actually discontinued. It's got a chocolate Jubilee dial on it. It's beautiful. It's really nice. And Rolex gems, like any of their gem sets, the diamonds that they use they ain't trash. They're very nice. It's a real flashy eye catcher. I like it. I like two-tone. Some people don't like it. I like two-tone. I think it goes a lot better with, I mean, you could wear it with a suit. Not that I wear a suit, but you could wear it with a suit. You could wear it with jeans. You could wear it with board shorts and cut off tank top. And I mean, it goes with everything. It really does. But this is one of the pieces that I got from her. I was also awarded this It's a Datejust 36, rose gold and stainless steel, diamond dial, and this is a black sunburst dial. When the sun catches this dial, man, let me tell you, it is absolutely beautiful. It is a 36 mil. So again, I don't wear it often, but sometimes if I just want a really comfortable watch, I'll put on the 36 mils. They're extremely comfortable, especially on the Jubilee bracelet. This is a Jubilee bracelet. I like them. So I've also got some Datejust 41 millimeters, and this is the same as the other one, but on a yellow gold oyster bracelet, two-tone. And this is a diamond dial as well. It's a beautiful piece. It fits my wrist really well. You can tell the size difference though, right? It's a pretty big size difference, right? And like I said, I'm pretty fortunate that I can wear both sizes, no problem, but that's the 41 mil. And then I've got the 41 mil rose gold and chocolate dial Datejust. This one is on the Jubilee. This is beautiful. I love this. Absolutely love it. You know, one of the issues that I have with Rolex are these polished center links. They look really nice. They'll catch your eye, but man, gold is really, it's extremely soft. One of the interesting things about Rolex and the gold that they use is it's actually their gold. They don't buy it from anyone else. They own that gold. That is their gold. And it's got a different look to it. They're like Rolex's yellow gold. It catches your eye. It's really nice. And then another one that I was awarded from Cindy is this beautiful Rolex Submariner date. This is the new one. This is the 41 mil. This is great. This is, you know, if you could only have one piece, like one watch, if you're a one watch person, this would be the piece that I recommend. It's only going to go up in value. It'll continue to go up in value. It goes with anything. It is rock solid. It's damn near bulletproof, and it's beautiful. Yeah, it's a stainless steel 41 mil Rolex Submariner date. Very sought after piece, especially getting awarded this from an authorized dealer. I've already made 100% my money on this, and that's why I don't say no to any of these pieces coming from an authorized dealer. Not that I would ever sell them, but so what else? We might as well clear up the Rolexes because I do have a lot. This here, this is one of my daily drivers, so it gets pretty scratched up, but this is a Rolex GMT Master 2, two-tone yellow gold, and this actually has a secondary time zone feature. Actually, it has 3. If you know how to set it and work it, it actually gives you 3. There is a way to set it that when you turn the bezel, you can actually set the day of the week, but I've seen people do it, and I don't know, it sounds like nonsense to me. It does work, but I would never use it. I know what day of the week it is. But yeah, this is a really nice one. I ended up picking this one up in Las Vegas, and I've made a mint off of this one because I got a really good deal, pretty much doubled from the price that I picked it up. And you know, I love it. This is one of my daily drivers. I wear it. I wear my watches, guys. That's another thing. A lot of people buy these pieces, they package them up, they just keep them in the safe, and they don't ever wear them. What's the fucking point? Like, I don't know. I think that's crazy. So now I've got, this was another gift from Chrissy here. My Rolex Daytona yellow gold with the blue racing dial. This here is beautiful. Now I've got it on a different strap just so I don't scratch and beat up the factory strap. But this is a Rolex Daytona, let me tell you. It's a perfect size. Guys can wear it, women can wear it. It's beautiful. I love this. And what this does is you can actually time, well, it's used to time races, right? But it's basically a stopwatch. It is basically what it is. I love it. I love this. I wear this one all the time. So then I have the biggest Rolex in their lineup that they make. This is the Rolex Yachtmaster 2. It's a 44 millimeter. This one is a two-tone rose gold and stainless steel. This is an aftermarket strap on it, again, so I don't beat up the original strap, which it's kind of, I don't want to say it's beaten up, but it has been worn. But one of the aftermarket strap dealers that I use, Rubber Bee, they make really nice straps. That's a nice looking watch. It really is. A lot of people, they don't like it because it's, you know, it's pretty ostentatious. It's pretty big, and what's really crazy is this is actually a pretty complicated watch. It's these complications are pretty cool. It's got a directional bezel, so you turn that, you hit the reset button down here, you pull this screw out, and then once you do that, you can set your time. It's a 10-minute timer. What it does is basically from the time the cannon sounds in these regattas, you have 10 minutes. After that 10 minutes, after that cannon sounds, so the cannon goes blast, it blasts off, it goes boom, and then you have 10 minutes, and then at that 10-minute mark is where you can start your race. So that's basically what it is. And this is a Yachtmaster 2, and I love it. Let me just see. I do have one more Rolex, but that's in the heavy hitter pile, and we'll wait for that one. So I've got another Rolex Daytona here. This one is very special. This is actually Chrissy's. I bought this for her birthday. And this Rolex Daytona is a rose gold with a pink sunburst, sundust dial with factory baguettes on that dial. It has the rose gold, full rose gold bracelet. It's a special watch. It's absolutely gorgeous. I could stare at this dial all day. You know, those factory Rolex diamonds they're beautiful. They catch your eye. There's something special. But that's Chrissy's. I'm gonna wear it though. I'm gonna have to. So here's one of my watches, just a daily driver. It is a Breitling Hurricane 45. And this is a chronograph. So it's a very traditional chronograph. It's almost like a Daytona. It's a chronograph, right? And it comes on a rubber strap. And, you know, it's just a really good daily driver. It can take a beating. It's made out of composite. It's extremely light. It's very comfortable on the wrist. And I wear this if I'm shoveling horse shit at the farm or whatever. It's still actually a pretty expensive watch, but that's all relative. This is worth about $6,000. So to me, in the watches that I have, you know, it's on the lower tier, but I still like it. I wear it. I like it. Okay, we're gonna start getting into some of the heavier hitters. We'll get rid of this one here. Now I got to talk about this one a little bit. This is a Grand Seiko, limited to 100 pieces ever made, and it actually shows on the back here, and I have number 57. This is a special watch. Now, Grand Seiko is not to be mistaken for Seiko. This is not a cheap watch. It was $42,000 and worth every penny. The finishing work on this is all done by one man. He handles all of the gold pieces. It's called Saratsu Finishing, and he does the finishing work on all gold pieces, all of them. Only one man's hand touches the finishing on these. And this is an anniversary piece. And what makes the Grand Seiko so special is they have a spring drive. And I can show you on the close-up, but On most of these, because they are, you know, manual watches, like none of these have batteries in them. Even though it's a sweeping hand, so the second hand that's going around, the seconds hand, it doesn't sweep. It still kind of ticks. It's slight, but it's there. With this, it looks like a quartz movement. The caliber, which is the movement, which is the engine, is something else on these things. And when you see it in person, you understand. Even the lines on it from how it's finished, they're so long. Like that, and it's perfect. The finishing work is perfect. It's perfection. This is a GMT, so this tells a secondary time zone, as well as a chronograph, as well as it shows the date, and it shows also the power reserve. There's over 500 components that make up this watch, and that puts it into the grand complication zone. Special piece, and only 100 of them made. And I've got number 57. I'll never sell this. I love this. I actually found this sheer luck. And the only other place that I knew of that had this was a watch dealer in Houston, and I would never give them my money. I would never give those guys my money. That Timepiece gentleman, I don't like them, and it sucks because they had this piece. Well, not this piece, but the same, you know, reference number and everything else. But it killed me not to be able to buy it, because I've had my eye on that one for years, and I actually stumbled across it. Well, I didn't stumble. Ed actually stumbled across it right at an actual authorized dealer, Grand Seiko's authorized dealer, and they had one in the back. What are the odds? It's an anniversary piece. Came out in 2017. So you're talking years. It's just been sitting in the back waiting for me to come pick it up. Very fortunate to have that one. I love it, love it. So now let's talk about my Patek Philippe 5905R. Man, you want to talk about something that is special and literal perfection. You talk about a Patek. So this is an annual calendar. And what an annual calendar is, it needs to be reset once a year, but it'll keep time, and it shows the day of the week, the day of the month, and then the month. This is also a chronograph. And I just had to reset it. You need to reset it in February, and then after that it'll keep perfect time. 30 days, 31 days, it'll switch over all automatically. And this is beautiful. This is Patek Philippe's, they're special. I remember when I got this, because of the price point on this, it was a stretch. But I had to do it. Absolutely in love with this piece. This is a piece that I'll never sell. It's beautiful. That dial, and you'll see it on the close-up, that dial is actually segmented. It's not a piece of dial that's laid in and then gold strips laid across and a gold ring. It's actually small sections placed in. And when you take a loop to it, a jeweler's loop, and you look, there's no gaps. It's perfection. It's perfection. It's beautiful. Love this piece. So now I want to talk about Vacheron Constantin. Vacheron is part of the Holy Trinity. Patek Philippe, Vacheron Constantin, and Audemars Piguet. And Vacheron is one of my favorite watchmakers. Why? Because they're not super popular, but if a guy sees a Vacheron Constantin on your arm and he actually notices it, he's a watch guy. It's kind of like that. It's like being part of a club that if you know, you know. And this is another anniversary piece, and it is limited. This is limited to 250 pieces, and this is number 215. solid rose gold Maltese cross bracelet and case, chocolate dial, and this gives you a second time zone, which is the little clock down here. And it gives you the date and a power reserve, and this is beautiful. There's something about a Vacheron. They're right up there with Pateks. Like they're special, they're beautiful. If you ever get a chance to go into a Vacheron Constantin authorized dealer, go in. I mean, they probably won't have anything like this there, or at least they won't pull it out, but they're beautiful pieces. Now, this one's pretty special. This is my Vacheron Constantin Tourbillon, overseas Tourbillon. This here is beautiful. I love this one so much. This is another one I don't think I'll ever sell. Absolutely beautiful. This blue dial, it is something else. It's so hard to describe. So it's a black dial and then it's applied blue lacquer over top. And it's absolutely special. So the complication on this and why it's so expensive, this was a bit of a stretch. It's a lot of money on this one. But it's a tourbillon. And what a tourbillon does, it actually counteracts gravity. And it was actually originally designed for pocket watches. And because they're always hanging in the horizontal, and gravity would kind of drag the hands down, and it would kind of keep shitty time. So the higher end pocket watches had a tourbillon, and a tourbillon, the original tourbillon was developed by Breguet, which is another watchmaker, another watch company. And this tourbillon, you'll see it on the close-up. Man, oh man, this is special. And what I love about this and what Vacheron does in the Overseas series is this actually has a bracelet just like this, but it's stainless steel. And it comes with the stainless steel, the rubber strap, and a leather strap. Special watch. Very fortunate to have this extremely hard piece to get. And I see this doubling, if not tripling, by the end of the year. 100%. Now, last but not least, it's a Rolex. I know I got a lot of Rolexes. This one is very special. This is a Rolex Yellow Gold GMT Master 2 SARU. Sorry, my dogs are going mental up front. And this is factory set with rubies, diamonds, and blue sapphires. It needs to be seen in person. Rolex gem sets are literal perfection. You can take a jeweler's loop to it. There's no spaces. The bezel is beautiful. You see some of these shitty aftermarket watches that they just completely destroy the watch, and that bezel doesn't work. It's no longer waterproof. It's garbage. A lot of people do a lot of shitty work out there. There's some good aftermarket people out there that do a lot of really nice aftermarket work. My friend Peter Marco in Beverly Hills, he does it, and his work is extremely nice. He uses quality diamonds. That's what separates him. He doesn't put garbage onto his shit. I love Peter, love the guy. But this is my Rolex Saru, is how it's referred to. And it is, actually I lied to you, I do have one more left, don't I? It's right here. And that Rolex SARU is the same as this Rolex Pepsi GMT Master 2. Same color configurations, but obviously this is worth a lot less than that. This is one of my daily drivers. I love it. I wear it all the time. It's a hype piece, but I wear it because I like it. You can pick these up at retail for about 12, 13, about 12 grand with the price increase. And they're worth on the aftermarket, like in the gray market, about $30,000, $31,000. So big increase there, right? And that's why I try to maintain my relationships with the Rolex dealer that I've got to know over the years, and I will continue to know her and yeah, enjoy her conversation whenever I'm in town. And if they got a piece for me, they got a piece for me, and if not, that's all fine too. So again, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this doesn't come off like I'm just flexing or something like that. What I have here in front of me is over $1 million in watches. But this is something I'm passionate about. This is something that I take some of my watches at night, the ones that I actually keep here, and I just stare at them. I just stare at them. I get lost in them. It's hard to describe, it's hard to explain, but I'm gonna say this before I wrap this up. If you are ever interested in getting into watches, be careful. You better know what you're getting yourself into, because I've had lots of addictions in life, and this takes the cake. Like Mr. Wonderful says, it's a disease. This stuff will really take over. But thank God that I have a woman that supports me. And I'm also very fortunate and in a fortunate position in life that I'm able to buy these pieces where it doesn't hurt me financially at all. You know, some of these pieces here are, you know, $180,000. There's one for $130, $60, $90, $40, a lot of 30s, right? So just know what you're getting yourself into. That being said, you don't need to spend this type of money if you're into horology. For cheap, not cheap, inexpensive watches, you can look at Tudors, which is a sister company of Rolex. And you can also, if you want to go even lower than that, you can start with Hamilton. Hamilton is, I would go with the Hamilton Khaki. And a Hamilton Khaki is very similar to a smaller version of the Iwc Big Pilot, okay? So those are a couple watch brands that you could definitely get involved with. You'll take a hit on them, right? But Hamilton, actually I shouldn't say that, because Hamilton's hold up not too bad. So you're not gonna take too big of a hit. But when you get into stuff like this, guys, you gotta do it for the passion, the love. Even if you take a hit on it, if you overpay, who cares? You know, you gotta enjoy this stuff. So again, I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it ran long, but I really didn't want to rush this. I just wanted to take my time and show you some of my favorite pieces. And if I had to pick one favorite piece, it would be my Vacheron. I love this. I truly love it. And then of course, second is my Rolex American Seiko. I love this piece. It's such a traditional stock market watch that it's just so fucking rad. It's so cool. Okay guys, anyways, catch you on the next one. Adios.